Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're literally cracking open the ultimate wilderness survival manual. We're going to break down the exact step-by-step strategies you need to make it out of the wild in one piece. So go ahead and grab a mental notepad because the information we're getting into today, it could quite literally save your life. Picture this for a second. You're out on the perfect hike. The scenery is absolutely gorgeous, the weather is clear, but then, suddenly, the trail just disappears. The skies start to darken, you lose your footing, and just like that, you are lost. So, what happens when your perfect nature hike goes horribly wrong? Well, panic is your absolute worst enemy here, but knowledge, that is your best friend. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today. 1. Surviving Mother Nature's elements. 2. Handling wild animal encounters. 3. Securing your basic needs. 4. Clever DIY wilderness hacks. And 5. Navigating and getting rescued. Let's get to it. Section 1. Surviving Mother Nature's elements. It's time to face the immediate, adrenaline-pumping threats of the wild. Okay, so imagine you're outdoors, a storm is rolling in, and suddenly you feel your hair standing straight up on end. You need to find shelter immediately. Seriously, this isn't just some funny static electricity moment. That static in your hair actually means positive charges are actively rising right up through your body, reaching toward the storm's negative charges. Lightning is imminent. It's about to strike. But what if there's literally no shelter anywhere in sight? Dang, you're in a tight spot. If you're caught out in the open like that, you need to execute these steps right away. First, squat low to the ground on the balls of your feet. Next, place your hands on your knees and tuck your head right between them. By making yourself as small as physically possible, you minimize your contact with the ground, and that drastically reduces potential damage from a lightning strike. Now let's talk about another classic environmental hazard, quicksand. We've all seen those movies where someone completely disappears into a bottomless pit of sand, right? Well, you can take a deep breath, because in reality, if you get stuck in quicksand and you just stay calm, you aren't likely to sink much further than your waist. It's the panicking and thrashing around that actually pulls you under. So, how exactly do you get out? First things first, toss away anything heavy. We're talking shoes, backpacks, heavy jackets, get rid of them. Next, gently wiggle your legs. This creates a little room for water to seep in, which helps loosen the sand's tight grip. And keep your arms up. Then try leaning back to float and move backwards with very small steps. Do not take big steps. They're way too hard to pull off and it'll just exhaust you. Once you hit solid ground, just roll your way out to safety. What if your adventure takes you to the water and you get caught in a strong rip current? The absolute golden rule here is to never, ever swim against it. Fighting a rip current is literally just going to tire you out, and that doesn't end well. Instead, just stay calm and swim parallel to the shore. Even if the current pulls you a bit further out at first, swimming parallel is the only safe way to eventually escape its pull and make your way back to dry land. Section 2. Handling wild animal encounters. We're shifting from the weather to the predators, because remember, you are in their territory now. Now, what's really interesting about this is how vastly different your survival tactics need to be depending on the specific type of bear you're facing. If a grizzly bear charges you, do not run. You cannot outrun it. Stand still, speak in a clear, monotone voice, and whatever you do, don't scream. If it actually attacks, curl up in a ball on the ground and stay completely quiet until it leaves. But look at the polar bear strategy. If a polar bear is chasing you from a distance, you actually want to drop clothing items like a hat or a scarf and run away. Polar bears have incredibly short attention spans, so they'll often stop to sniff whatever you dropped, giving you a crucial head start. If you're hiking in bear country, you should absolutely always carry pepper or bear spray. And this number right here, 25, is absolutely critical. 25 feet is the exact distance you must wait for if the bear gets within 25 feet of you. That is the exact moment you deploy your spray for it to actually be effective. Don't waste it when they're too far away. Okay, what about smaller predators? Dang, you're in a tight spot if you get bitten by a snake, and you need to identify it fast. Venomous snakes usually have multiple colors and cat-like slit pupils. If they bite you, you're going to see 2 deep puncture wounds. A non-venomous snake, on the other hand, usually leaves a U-shaped bite mark filled with tiny, sharp teeth marks. Whatever happens, try to snap a quick picture of the snake if you safely can, so emergency services know exactly what they are dealing with. So, the crucial point is this. Completely forget what you have seen in the movies. Never, ever use your mouth to suck out snake venom. It is incredibly dangerous. You actually have a much higher chance of poisoning yourself than you do of successfully removing the toxin from your friend's bloodstream. Seriously, just get professional medical help immediately. Section 3. Securing your basic needs. Let's slow things down a bit and transition from those immediate life-or-death reactions to methodical, step-by-step wilderness survival. Let's role-play a scenario for a second. You stayed out way too late taking those perfect sunset pictures. Your phone battery is completely dead, it's getting really dark, and you are officially stranded. So what is your very first priority? Well, to answer that, we have to look at the human body's survival limits. Survival is an exact order of operations. In harsh weather, you can only survive about 3 hours without shelter. You can go 3 days without water and up to 3 weeks without food. This strict hierarchy dictates that building a sturdy, leafy DIY shelter comes way before you even think about finding a stream, let alone hunting for berries. Shelter first, always. Okay, so you survived the night in your shelter. Now you need water. But wilderness water can be packed with dangerous bacteria. If you need a makeshift filter, here is a truly brilliant process. First, start a fire. Wait until the ashes are completely cold, then grind them into a powder. Next, cut the bottom off a plastic bottle, flip it upside down, and put about 3 inches of this safe charcoal inside. And a quick warning, explicitly do not use random charcoal you just find lying around in the forest, because you have no idea what's in it. Pour your water over your safe charcoal, and to catch any excess dust, wrap the bottle cap area in a clean cloth. The water dripping out the bottom is now filtered and ready to drink. Section 4. Clever DIY Wilderness Hacks. It is officially time to channel your inner wilderness MacGyver. Take a look at this. Dental floss is literally a survivalist's best friend. You can use it as a fishing line, you can string it between trees as a clothesline, a single strand holds up to 5 pounds. You can use it to securely bind a knife to a stick to make a makeshift spear. It's highly flammable, which makes it incredible kindling if you need to start a fire, and it works perfectly as makeshift shoelaces. And this brilliantly illustrates how everyday items sitting right there in your bathroom cabinet can be absolute lifesavers out in the wild. Speaking of fires, what if you're freezing? You desperately need a fire, but you have no matches and no lighter. Dang, you're in a tight spot again. But if you have a simple flashlight battery and a foil gum wrapper, you are in business. Just cut a thin strip of the foil wrapper and make sure the middle is sliced slimmer than the ends. Connect the foil to both ends of the battery, and the electrical current will literally cause the middle of the wrapper to ignite in seconds. Just make sure you have your dry grass and kindling ready to go. Here's another one. If you carry a basic first aid kit, you probably have a needle in there. If you're completely disoriented, you can actually use it to make a compass. First, magnetize the needle by rubbing the eye of it against your hair, some fur, or silk about 100 times. Fill a little container with water, place a leaf on the surface, and gently rest the needle right on top of the leaf. Because you magnetized it, the needle will spin and automatically start pointing north to south, helping you get your bearings. Let's move to Section 5. Navigating and getting rescued, and see how this builds into our ultimate final goal, getting you back to civilization. When you're finally trying to walk your way out of the wild, you absolutely want to leave a trail. Take some burned coal or charred wood sticks from your fire and use them to literally draw messages or directional arrows on rocks, trees, and logs. These markings won't just wash away with a little rain, they'll actually stay there for weeks. It is simply the absolute best way to help a rescue party trace your exact path. So we've covered the wild weather, the predators, the core rules of survival, and the clever DIY hacks to keep you moving forward. Mother Nature is unforgiving, but with these tools, are you ready to survive her? Keep this information in your mental toolkit the next time you hit the trails. Stay safe out there and never stop learning.